Could you do this in Rome Total War, slingers throwing giant boulders at the enemy? Well, you could, but with negative frames per second. But in Remastered? Oh yes, just look at it go. It's smooth as a baby's rear. Welcome, ladies and gents, and I will now tell you if it's worth buying Total War Remastered, in my opinion. But for that, I will tell you what were my expectations on the game. We're going to talk just a tiny little bit about the marketing of the game, what I got, and the good and the bad on the game, right? So my expectations going into the game, they were not too high, because I think the marketing, which this is all tied up, right? The marketing, I think it was pretty damn good, since they let the YouTubers just show the game. Hey guys, here's the game, show it to the customers, and the customers then, or the players, let's say, they look at the game and they say, so this is what I must be expecting, this is what I have to expect when I buy the game. And I bought it, I played it now for about 16 hours, and it's exactly what I saw. So, am I happy? Yes, I am perfectly happy. This is pretty much Total War, Rome Total War, but better. So that's pretty damn nice. So again, the marketing, I think it was good. I think the purpose of this remaster was just to bring the old Total Wars back into CA and getting the playing field ready for the next historical title. So I think this was good. They didn't try to overhype the game. They just let the YouTubers do the job for them, which, you know, you might think, well, if they wanted to sell a lot, this was probably not the best thing to do, but at the same time, they were not just selling snake oil to the players, saying, oh, look at our remaster, it's really good right here, without showing the bad. So the YouTubers kind of showed everything, the good and the bad, and I think that was pretty good. In my opinion, that was pretty good. I am a happy customer because I saw something, when I bought it, I got that exactly. So that is pretty damn decent, and it was so many YouTubers. They probably showed the game to over 1 million people. When you think about it, you know, everybody combined, the amount of views it generated. So I think it was pretty good. Alright, so what did I get when I bought Total War Rome Remastered? So I got Barbarian Invasion, I got Alexander, and of course the base game, every single one of them remastered. And the remaster means that you have new graphics, you have a couple of new features, so they try to add a little bit to the game and remove some bugs or some issues with the game that there were before. Like, for example, the squalor issues at the end game in Rome Total War. I think that was pretty egregious. So if you wanted to play late game, there was no cap for the squalor, and that was pretty tough to manage. So now it's not there, right? The AI is a little bit better in the battlefield, so that is pretty decent as well, you know, and it was pretty needed. It still charges horses on pikes, which is ridiculous, but it tries to encircle you and defeat you like that, and that's quite impressive, kind of. It's the newer Total Wars. You got also new controls for the battles, which was pretty damn good and needed, because one thing that prevented me from playing Rome Total War is that the controls were kind of clunky, and now it's WASD, and the camera controls are perfect, and the unit controls are really good. You can auto-path your units. Man, it's not the auto path, but you can do custom paths for the units, which is really good. Now the AI got a tiny, I don't know if they really improved it on the campaign map. I don't think they did, but it is what it is. Like, for the most part, it is the remaster. You have the new UI as well, which gets a little bit of getting used to, but the information, like, you don't need to open a lot of menus, and the information is all there. You can move ancillaries or the companions. I don't remember the name of the little dudes, you know, the librarians and stuff for the on the generals. You can just move them on a menu from one general to the next, and they don't need to be on the same spot on the map. It will just take, I think it's like 2 turns to move them, which is pretty good. So overall, you're pretty much getting Rome Total War, but with better graphics, better controls, new, better UI, in my opinion. Of course, you know, you might dislike the UI and stuff, but I happen to like it. So I'm pretty happy with it and with all I've said, but it's not all good, and I'm already talking about the good. I haven't spoken about the bad. But look, going to the good and the bad, I think there's some people on the Total War community that didn't really like the remaster. Maybe they wanted a remake of the game. I don't know. I don't really know why, but I don't get the backlash because what the YouTubers were showing is exactly what the game is, right? So if they bought it, they got what they were advertised exactly, right? Period. So I don't really get it. And one thing from Volon, I think I have it here on my computer. Let me just check it out. Some pictures. Here we go. And he was saying Rome Remastered just came out and is already looking like a bit of a complete train wreck. I don't see it. I really don't see it. And he goes like, did we all tell you so? And then the answer is yes, yes, I pre-ordered it, and yes. I think this is ridiculous, right? This is perfectly silly. Volon, I think he is completely wrong about this. He might be unhappy of how CA and Feral handled things, but look, it is what it is. Like, it's Rome Remastered. I'm pretty happy with it. Like, I understand if you don't like what they did here, but going this pretentious out, that's just ridiculous. And Volon is a guy who makes really good points, right? And I don't want to crap all over him because I watch his content, I like his content, and he makes some pretty good points. I just think he's a little bit pretentious with these, right? So I think I have more images here to check. So then I looked at the comments here, and yes, 1,000 votes and 162 comments, and the comments are pretty much everyone saying, look man, the game was actually fine. And what I've seen is that a lot of people who complain are complaining about crashes and frame drops. And look, I had issues as well. Okay, I had issues as well when I started playing, and in 16 hours of gameplay, you know how many crashes I had? One. 16 hours, one crash. And one instance of massive frame drops. The frame drops, I fixed it. Alt tab, boom, frame drops disappeared. And I know it's something that they have to fix, okay? They have to fix it. The crash, no problem, I rebooted the game and that's it. And of course that if there were like one crash per hour, one crash every 2 hours, yeah, sure, I would complain a lot. Like this, I'm not complaining a lot. The game just came out. They will patch the game. And yeah, if it was 15 years ago, you know, it's not 15 years ago, it's now, okay? And one crash, 16 hours, I'm pretty fine with that. I really am. It's okay. So this is the bad. The bad is crash and frame drops, but I don't think they are just that frequent. And if it is really frequent for you, it's a shame, and I hope they patch it really quick. Every time you get a crash, even if it's not frequent, just send the crash report, because that helps Feral and CA fix it, okay? That's the thing you can do to help. But I think this issue, at least for me, it wasn't big. Most people that I have read talking about it, no issues whatsoever, so perfectly fine. The good is what I just talked about. You got new graphics, new controls, and new features. What else could you want for 15 bucks? What else could you want? If you own the previous game, of course. Plus all the expansions. It's perfect, isn't it? I mean, it's... what else? So they are a company, they have to make profits, so they're not charity, so it is what it is. Anyway, after all this ramble, is Total War Rome Remastered worth buying? And in my humble opinion, absolutely, 100%. Oh yeah, nowhere else can you find slingers throwing huge boulders at the enemies. And this, of course, depends on what you wanted from Total War Rome Remastered. If you wanted the game to be fully remade, this is probably not for you. If you wanted a massive facelift and better controls, absolutely worth it, with the added bonus that in the future we'll have brand new full conversion mods. Modernizing Rome Total War, in my opinion, is worth the 15 euros, and on top of it you get Barbarian Invasion and Alexander also remastered. And again, I cannot just tell you how much mods are going to matter here, because the modability of Rome Total War has never been this high, with the ability to mod way too many new regions, way too many new factions, which is absolutely awesome and needed for some mods to happen. Imagine the Holy Roman Empire in a mod with all the small factions. That would be amazing, wouldn't it? So that is it. Yes, so you get the Rome Total War thing, you get Barbarian Invasion and Alexander and everything remastered. So yeah, for 30 euros, maybe wait a couple of months until the first total conversion mod starts appearing, and then you will think, well, do I want to play Third Age Total War in the new Rome Total War game, or the remastered? You know, if you do, then it would be worth it, or then just wait for a sale. But even then, for 30 euros, I think it's still a great game to this day, and if you've never played it before, it'll pull you in and offer hundreds of hours of fun, especially again with the mods like Third Age, Bronze Age, Rome Resurrectum, Elder Scrolls. Damn, there's just gonna be so many mods, right? And, well, a message to CA and Feral Entertainment. Feral, you guys did an amazing job here, and Creative Assembly, thank you for allowing this to happen. I'd love now to see Medieval 2 get the same treatment, and in the meantime, maybe Empire 2, and maybe later, or even first, Medieval 3. Anyway, if you do it like this, just keep it up, and thank you. For all you watching, thank you for the view, like, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz, and don't forget, of course, as always, Portugal, caralho.